Hello and welcome to episode 15 of the Neon 1000, my continuing exploration of this book. 1000 essential movies on video, split up into numerous categories to make it easily digestible. Today we're going to be talking about James and the Giant Peach from 1996, which was number 30 in the book under the animation category. Directed by Henry Selick, based on the book by Roald Dahl. This particular episode, I'm going to be freewheeling it somewhat because I've made absolutely no notes about this film whatsoever. As I said in episode 10, when I ran through the animation section, this film was going to come up pretty soon because I just finished reading the book with my son. So we wanted to watch the film while this was still pretty fresh. Basic plot summary: James is made an orphan, has to go live with his horrible aunts. In their garden, there's a peach tree that never grows any peaches. One day it grows a massive peach that keeps growing and growing and growing. James ends up climbing inside the peach where he meets these giant insects. And while he is in the peach detaches itself from the tree, starts rolling down the hill, picks up so much momentum, it travels across the land, flies off the cliffs into the sea. When they're in the sea, they basically lasso a bunch of seagulls to transport the peach through the air, and eventually they end up in New York. In the book, when they land in the sea, they are attacked by numerous sharks, which is why they lasso the seagulls to get them out of the water. In the film, they are attacked for some reason by a mechanical shark for no good reason. And then rather than lassoing numerous seagulls, presumably to save time, because that's quite a time-consuming thing, lassoing 100 seagulls. Instead they catch the seagulls in a net made of spiderweb and silk. But logically, that wouldn't work. The mechanics of flight do not work. But then in the book, by the time they've lassoed the 100th seagull, the first 50 are going to be knackered. So I don't think they're going to get anywhere. But it's whimsy, people. Whimsy. The film then cuts out what is probably the best part of the book, which is when they meet the Cloudmen. These weird creatures that live in the clouds and basically create weather. So you see them like making hail. There's one point where the peach crashes into a rainbow, which they are trying to suspend in the sky, which would be really cool to see. What happens instead? There's some kind of pirate ship, and Jack Skellington is this pirate captain, and yeah, it makes sense within the film, but it doesn't really add anything to the film. It's just a little cameo from Henry Selick's last movie. Not into it. Despite being loved by critics, the film was somewhat of a flop. It didn't actually make its money back at the box office. Probably did in like video rentals and sales later on. Would have been interesting to see what Roald Dahl would have thought of the film, because he famously hated every adaptation of his books. His wife, who sold the rights to the book, reckons he would have loved it, but I'm not so sure. No sir, I don't like it. I mean, I would just read the book, because the book is actually much better. Originally, Elvis Costello was going to do the songs for the film, but Disney, who were bankrolling the film, weren't very keen. Instead, they suggested Randy Newman, who at this point had just done the songs for Toy Story. Worth pointing out that at this point, Disney didn't own Pixar. They just distributed their films, but they could see how that was successful. So it's like, well, Randy was involved in that one, let's involve him in this one. Andy Partridge from the band XTC did actually write 4 songs for the film, but Disney vetoed it and decided to hire Randy Newman anyway. Yeah, the songs aren't that memorable, to be honest. Not a big fan of the film. Probably only give it 2 stars. Doubt I'll watch it again. I mean, I say that, I have watched it more than once, so sure. But if you did like it, why not try Henry Selick's best movie, which is Coraline. Don't at me with your, oh, what about The Night Before Christmas? Based on Neil Gaiman's book. Or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which is probably the best film version of a Roald Dahl book. And it's got Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman? It hasn't. It's got Gene Wilder. Freewheeling Or The Adventures of Mark Twain, a claymation movie where a bunch of kids go on adventures in a giant airship. Possibly to New York. Maybe not. Okay, so that's all I've got time for. So long, farewell.